I'm a feminist, and I like working with Yorgos Lanthimos. So I guess that's activism. I don't know.
You like my hat?
So, Emily,
Emily.
My name is Emily. Thank you. Very nice.
I don't mean to be rude, but you're painting me into a corner. I can't contribute in any way with one word because there's lots to talk about when you talk about Yorgos.
RMF, I mean, to our mind that we made the film, it is the same character throughout. It's the only person that appears in all three stories. And you can do whatever you want with that.
Guys, you're in for a treat. It's probably the most entertaining press conference so far at Cannes Film Festival 2024. Oh my goodness. The cast of Kinds of Kindness, including Emma Stone, Willem Dafoe, Margaret Qualley, Hunter Schafer, Joe Alvin. We're all there alongside director Yorgos Lanthimos for the premiere of this brand new movie, Kinds of Kindness, which was made, by the way, during the whole Bella Baxter and Poor Thing saga. So that is why most of the people you see on stage are from that film. It's almost like they'd all been in a sweet shop before or got a little bit tipsy on something because they were just so giggly. Emily Stone, Margaret and that hat. Hunter Schafer said hardly anything, but just looked like she was as entertained as I was just watching what was going on. And I think the real stars were definitely the international press because some of their questions were just so difficult to understand, and not just because of the language barrier, but because, like me and like most journalists, they were trying to get 2 or 3 questions in as one. And boy, did Emily and Yorgos enjoy jumping in and pointing that out. Guys, this is the press conference of Kinds of Kindness. I think it's going to be a big film with Emma Stone and all the gang. Enjoy.
Reading the script, it's bizarre and strange and bonkers and special, of course. But to try and unpack it too much, I think you'd just get stuck in your head. So, and the same thing watching it. One of the reasons I love his films, you feel it first rather than try and intellectually unpack it. And so I just kind of trust the world that he's building and follow whatever direction he gives and feel lucky to be there.
He gives you a great setup. You go there. You try to apply yourself to what the words, the actions, where you are. He watches you. He thinks about it. It's not always clear what he wants or what you want, but that's the process. And then there's a call and response, and it's a real pleasure because it's very concrete. I mean, I'm always struck that he is always reaching, and he teaches you to reach without, being pretentious, without pointing to things. Just things are what they are, and there's finding the beauty and the strength in those things that you're doing.
The biggest feeling that I have now, I just have extreme comfort. So I feel like I can do anything with him because we've worked together so many times, and I trust him beyond the trust I've ever had with any director. And I've been lucky to work with great directors, but we just have something that I can't explain, and I'm so grateful for it. So, yeah, it just makes sense to me.
Or even early on, after reading the script a few times, having the story inside me, but know where to place it in my head, which is a very unsettling place to be. But it's a lot of trust and following your instincts, I guess.
This was my first time working with Yorgos, and I filmed for one day. But when he emailed me, he invited me to come play for a day, and that's what it felt like, and that's the headspace I tried to stay in, was play.
There was a long post-production process for Poor Things, and while we were finishing the VFX on Poor Things, we already had finished the script, which we had been working for many years, in between other projects. So it was ready, and we just thought, instead of sitting around waiting, for the delivery of the VFX, why don't we go and shoot another movie? Then we finished Poor Things, and then we deal with the next one. So it was kind of because it's so different, it was like a very like cleansing, interesting experience for all of us, and especially the people that worked on Poor Things as well, you know, making this film. So yeah, we just thought we'd give it a go.
You know, in working with Yorgos, we really don't discuss, like he was saying, intellectually what's happening. And because he's very physically oriented and he really loves dance, obviously, and I really love dance too. And so, you know, even doing Poor Things, the things that we would discuss at length were the way she walked and moved, not what was happening underneath the surface. That's my part of it, you know? And so I think a lot of my relationship, at least to body in his films, is that in a way it's sort of physicalizing an interior feeling all the time. It's like, you know, Bella's expression happened through her body. In this film, a lot of that expression happens through their body, even when it's violent or when it's sexual or whatever might happen. It's instead of explaining it, it's you know, instead of saying it, you're showing it and hopefully feeling more under the surface with our job as actors to bring more to all that physicality. So I am a feminist. Whether that's activism or not, that just is what makes sense to me. I think that, you know, when it comes to these stories, these are just stories that feel interesting to me as an actor. I don't know that I'm really the type of actor that's like, I need to do this film because it has this particular message. I just find the characters interesting, the world's interesting, and it's something that I want to explore.
So, Emma, you wear a stunning dress yesterday on a red carpet that resonated. My question, as a woman, how have you been able to address the issues and difficulties that face it to a woman in cinema? And as also you are the winner of the BAFTA, Golden Globe, and also the Oscar. Do you think that you're gonna win the Cannes Award of this year?
There's a lot of parts in this question. Come on.
Tell the truth.
Come on, be honest. Wait, hold on. I'm trying to parse through the different aspects of that question. The dress yesterday.
Great dress.
Thank you. The woman in cinema
Good.
is just how do I be a woman in cinema? Wait.
In that dress.
Oh, in the dress. No, wait. Well, I'm sorry. The central part of the question, I don't think I fully understood.
Do you see any difficulties of being a woman in Hollywood today?
Yeah, I mean, it's not just up to me. I think there's a lot of people that you know are doing their best to change things, move things along, move things forward, so that you know women feel a true sense of equality in cinema. I don't know if I have a concise answer to that question. As I didn't before, and I'm sorry. What about the other gals up here, huh? Anything? No? Okay,
I'm sure
all right.
Margaret will have something to say.
Margaret?
Do you like my hat?
It's a very change in your forms, so that aims or inclusive saying the Buñuelism in your cinema, Luis Buñuel. How do you feel about this evolution and the Miss Stone? Some actors in about that time take and they start from directors and his iconic career with the directors. You feel about the situation in the feelings about your iconic Yorgos Lanthimos character or actor?
Okay, the first part.
Would you like to write a script together?
Oh, God.
If I understood correctly in the beginning, you talked about Buñuelism and how it involves my films from the beginning. I mean, it's hard to make a general assessment of one's work. Usually what I say, for each individual film, people that talk to me and ask questions, and I honestly say that I'm the worst person to give any answers, and that's not because like I'm teasing you or don't want to give you answers because I want you to suffer for it. It's mostly that we make these things. It's a very instinctive process, and I think it's so much more valid for people that watch the films to have their own view, and we strive to construct them in a way that they're open for people to come in and engage and have their own view about things. And there's so many different people around the world, so many different backgrounds, cultures, people with different experiences. So hopefully they all see something slightly different in it. And so it's really hard, for me to give you like valid answers for my films and what they are and what they should be. Or I'm much more interested listening to other people and observe, the differences in perception when you watch a film. I think it's the greatest gift to just see that it's actually working in this way.
I met him about 10 years ago. We had lunch to talk about The Favorite, or the idea of doing The Favorite. It was a couple years before we made the film. And I was, at that point, had only seen Dogtooth, and The Lobster had just come here. And so I was just struck immediately by he was warm and easy to talk to, and, stupidly just very different than what his films are. I thought he would be, much more intense than he actually is in person. And we had such a great time working together on the Favorite, and I'm drawn to his stories. I'm drawn to his films. I'm drawn to his way of seeing the world and the characters and the way he goes about all of it. So it was it's just been that. I think we both feel that way.
We do.
We have similar tastes. Who knew?
And I'm your muse.
Yes. I think it's much more comfortable, and I think in an interesting way, you can also do, like in a theater company, when you're doing all these different stories, and when you have that kind of built-in trust with each other. I mean, I feel that way with Willem. I feel that way, like, you just feel like you can do, and you ran a theater company.
Yeah. Yeah, you share a responsibility. Certain pressures are taken off you. It's shared, and I think it makes you more available to be available for everyone else, and to enter the story in a way that's connected to something beyond you, because you have a collective identity, and you're serving a vision, and you're all working to realize that, to get the sense of what's happening and work together to make it happen. And that gives you lots of energy, and it also makes you feel very free, because it's not about you. But you get to do fun things because you're engaged, it's social, it's challenging, and you don't control it's shared.
And for the newcomers, is it like, I'm getting into Yorgos' family? Is that the feeling? Please. The newcomers?
Most definitely. It's exciting, and it's totally standalone on an experience level. Before I ever started, I knew that I would have no point of reference for what the experience would be like, and everything Willem and Emily said is true. It is a very collective sort of community that he gathers across the board, and it does really feel like everyone is working towards understanding and achieving this vision that's just like always kind of right beyond your grasp, and it's really exciting and fun.
Well, first of all, there's this notion which is strange to me, that it still is a thing today. Like, I moved to Hollywood. I moved to London, actually, and now I moved back to Athens. So there's no such thing, and I've been very fortunate to have been making the films that I want to make throughout, my time in making films. From the Greek films that were non-existent budget, really, and working with friends and people who were willing to just offer whatever they could in order to make films in conditions that didn't necessarily nurture that. And moving to English language films, let's say, in order to be able to access, some funds and means to make the films work. And I have no intention in making big films or small films. It's not a concern of mine. It's mostly being able to achieve whatever it is that we're trying to achieve this time. So, this film is, much smaller than Poor Things. We might make the next film even smaller. If it's smaller, if it needs to be a greater scale, we'll try and achieve that. But I think the constant thing is to have creative freedom and work with people, again, that you trust and appreciate. And that's what we've been trying to sustain. And so far, we've been very fortunate to be able to do that.
Kinds of Kindness is out in UK cinemas this summer. Did you enjoy that press conference? I thought it was really entertaining. I was a bit gutted that Margaret Qualley and Hunter Schafer, and I think Joe Alwyn as well, hardly got to speak. But this is what happens at these press conferences. I feel like it should just be the couple of people all the press want to talk to, because it must just be awkward for everybody else sat there that's not being asked much. Let me know in the comment section which film has got you the most excited from Cannes Film Festival. Make sure you subscribe, turn your notifications on so you don't miss a video. I'm Max, and this is Flip Your Wig.
This is it. The moment of truth. Isn't it wonderful?